This is a KOCO 5 First Alert Weather Severe Weather Update.
All right, it is currently a little after midnight on this Saturday night. We are tracking a couple of things right now across the OKC Metro. We have a flash flood warning that was just issued out across Canadian County, and then a severe thunderstorm warning that was issued in Pottawatomie County, northern Pottawatomie County. And as you head up towards Prague, we have Nick, there is Buck, there is Shane, and there is Storm Command right now. Let me go out to Shane Helton right now because we are watching this one thunderstorm right now that is moving up into eastern parts of Canadian County here. A bit of an uptick right there as you make your way up towards Yukon. While the tornado risk is low tonight, it's not zero. And so we are watching for at least some weak rotation right now just southwest of Yukon High School and out near Mustang. Let me go out to Shane here. Shane, give us an update on what you're seeing.
So, Damon, that's exactly what we're doing. We're watching for those weak rotation areas that see if they do anything other than stay weak, Now, however, we're parked on Mustang Road right on the south side of I-40, and the lightning off this storm is very intense. It's the cloud-to-ground lightning. It's hitting all kinds of things. We've seen, a little while ago, we saw some power flashes. Maybe you could hear that thunder right there, but so the lightning is hitting things all around us right here, so it's pretty intense. Definitely not an evening to be out watching to see if you could see anything. You need to stay indoors because the lightning it could be pretty bad. So no hail, just a little bit of heavy rain from time to time. Other than that, we're out here watching it, bringing you the first alert. Damon, back to you.
All right, I know you guys are watching it closely here. Let me go over to the radar, and the one thing that we are watching and what we will likely see on and off throughout the early morning hours here is that we're going to see these areas of rotation that will pick up and then they'll come down, they'll pick up and they'll come down. And so this is one that we are watching right here, just northwest of Mustang. This is headed up towards Yukon. There's Storm Command right now on I-40 inside of a flash flood warning that was just issued just moments ago. 2 inches of rain has already fallen across Canadian County with another 1 to 2 inches of rain expected. Let me go out to Michael Armstrong here. Michael, what are you seeing from Storm Command?
Yeah, I think you can tell by my shot just how much rain is falling right here. Extremely heavy rainfall. So much so, Damon, we ran across an area that was along Highway 81 just north of Pocasset probably about 15 to 20 minutes ago, and the water was about 8 to 10 inches deep. The vehicle that was in front of us, I wondered if they were going to be able to make it without stalling out, and at the same time we had a highway patrol. We're running with his lights on the other direction, headed down kind of toward Chickasha, and there was a vehicle with its hazard lights on. I say all that just to say, listen, the flooding threat is real. We've been talking about it for days, maybe a week. We've been talking about tonight and tomorrow and even going into Monday morning, and it's happening. So the rainfall with these storms, it's amazing. I mean, you would not think that storms in November could put out this kind of rain with as cool as it is. But I guarantee you the rainfall rates, they are impressive.
You're right there, Michael. I mean, the rain that we have in the forecast would be a really big deal if this were May, which is usually our wettest month of the entire year. But this is November. And so this is not a very wet month of the year for us. But here we are. We are just going to be really piling on the rain totals when all is said and done as we're watching this heavy rain making its way into Canadian County. Let me go out to Nick Smith here. Nick is going to be in Shawnee in the only severe thunderstorm warning that we have near the OKC Metro. This one has had a history of producing some pretty strong winds from time to time. It's a severe thunderstorm warning right now that will run from Shawnee up towards Prague. Nick, what's the update right now from northeastern Pottawatomie County here?
Yeah, Damon, they've had a lot of rain. We've been going down 177. We actually stopped just to grab some gas here, and there's just a ton of, if you look at my shot right now, you're going to see a ton of water that's flowing across the road. Even going down 177, there was a lot of places where I think some ponds and different things that are actually overflowing onto 177. So this area has received a ton of rain, and we're looking at that. We're probably going to see some more tonight. Back to you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we are going to really pick up a lot of rain tonight. A lot of the high resolution data that we have been looking at was highlighting about 3 to 6 inches of rain coming in just tonight alone. Remember, there's more rain in the forecast for tomorrow and again as we go into tomorrow night, and then this entire system will begin to wrap up for us as we go into Monday. There's Buck right there in downtown Oklahoma City. Right now, things, at least in Oklahoma County, are dry, but at least from the rain coming down, but that's not going to last for long here, because you can see they're down to the southwest. There's going to be another batch of rain that is headed in this direction right now. So let me show you the big picture right now as I pull on now. And when I say that we are setting up for a very stormy night, just look at all of the rain that we have here. We have a tremendous amount of rain on the way here. Severe thunderstorm warning as you go out towards western parts of Stevens County. By the way, severe thunderstorm watch has been issued until 4 a.m. So we have a ways to go here, but another 4 hours before the risk for severe weather will come down. Here's the latest watch. It does include Oklahoma County, Lincoln County, and just about all of us here south of I-40. So while there is a severe thunderstorm watch, we will from time to time have to watch closely for at least some embedded circulations within this. The amount of shear that we have in the atmosphere for this early this morning is high enough to where we can at least see some rotating segments on the leading edge of these storms here, like we see from east of Lawton and coming up into OKC. And by the way, yes, that watch goes until 4 a.m. We do set our clocks back 1 hour in about 90 minutes or so. So 2 o'clock will become 1 o'clock here in just a little bit. Let me go back out to Michael here. Michael and Storm Command, I want to get another update from you real quick. Michael, watching this pocket of real intense, pretty intense, I would say, at least core of this storm that's going to be just in far eastern Canadian County here. Michael, what are you seeing from Storm Command?
Yeah, we're driving right through it. One thing I will say, I've not encountered any hail yet. There have been hail markers on radar, but we haven't actually experienced any in Storm Command as we're driving along. Rainfall continues to come down, Damon. It is ponding on the interstate, so you really have to pay really close attention as you're driving out here tonight. It's just going to get worse. There is so much rain coming our way, so much rain. So we're right here in the core of it. We'll be kind of punching out of it here in just a moment. There is a little bit of a clearing ahead of it. It was trying to actually create a little bit of an inflow notch into it as it came across Tuttle and up toward Mustang. But, you know, that the velocities, there hasn't been anything that's really stood out as far as anything that's going to be, you know, wind damage or anything tornadic about it. But now that I'm looking at it, you're going to see law enforcement coming our way. We're already seeing multiple law enforcement out here tonight. Looks like somebody may have crashed into the center barrier there, so they were. Well, there's another person. So there's two people into the center barrier here on I-40 on the west side. We're right out by the outlet mall as we're coming into west side of Oklahoma City. Not quite there yet, but pretty close. So you can hydroplane. There's just a lot going on. I'm seeing people drive with their flashers on too. So it's dangerous.
It certainly is, and the rain is absolutely just going to come down tonight. Right now, there is one severe thunderstorm warning that is going to be from Shawnee to Prague. That's headed up towards Prague right now. It looks like we just got an update on that one. It does look a little interesting, at least from the sense of a little bit of an inflow into that. Now, all storms are going to rotate in Oklahoma, and there has been some chatter this evening about at least some potential tornadoes or what have you. These storms are rotating, but they're not rotating very strong. And so there are going to be at least some areas of enhanced wind that we're going to find right now southwest of Prague. I'll kind of show you how that is spinning up to the north. Nick Smith is watching it right now. And so an area of enhanced wind will be running just north of I-40, north of Johnson as you make way towards Prague. And so tornado risk is not zero tonight, but it is low. And so we are going to be keeping a close eye on that once again. Otherwise, another storm that is coming out of right now, out towards southern Stevens County. That's another severe thunderstorm that we are watching. So lots of rain out there early this morning. Right now it's 12:23. We're going to be watching this. We're going to continue to update you here as well as online. Keep it with KOCO 5 News. We'll bring you the first alert.